Oh, we're on. Yeah. So I've found out it's now 6-second theme song counting instead of 10.
Your poor listeners.
Dashiell.
They're never getting those
Carmen,
4 seconds
Caruso,
back.
just Carmen.
You can call me by my full name or my first
I've been
name.
calling you Carmen Caruso.
That's my full name, yeah.
Okay, is that too professional?
I mean, you can just call me Carmen if you want.
Okay, yeah, because you have a unique look. People know you by your look. If you seem like you would be easy if someone were to do a sketching artist of you, if someone needed to find you, because I don't think you would do any crimes. That's usually why people are sketched. I mean, I say that because we have a lawyer here. Dashiell's. You prefer Dash?
Dashiell. You know, either.
Dashiell. That could be. I like that. That could be a good stage name. What do you go by on stage?
Usually just Dash. Yeah, people usually call me Dash. I just don't introduce myself as Dash because if I do, people hear Josh. So.
What? There are a lot of Joshes in our generation. So many Joshes.
It's a comedian here. I'm waiting for it. No, you get the whole tell me a joke thing as a comedian. I've never asked that here because I know too many comedians.
Yeah, I mean, like, not very much stand-up comedy lends itself to the kind of just let me tell you like a one-liner joke and company. Yeah. I mean, you know, everyone. Exactly, hopefully, if you're a good comic, you've got a few. Like, if someone was like, "Tell me a joke," I could rattle them with something. But usually, you want to be like, "No, look at me in my element in front of an audience and see a bunch of people laughing," because it'll be a different.
I used to carry around a joke book. I used to get a new one from the library every week and hit up the open mics and just.
Oh no!
You just say,
you're telling other people's jokes at an open mic?
Well, not. I don't know who wrote them. They were just in books. No one's ever done that, I think, besides me. So it was
gotten away with it.
It was unique, and people laughed. One guy actually said that's never been done before that he's seen. So it came in handy too. If anyone would say, "Tell me a joke," like, all right, hold on, I got one for you. I got one for you, and then I'd say, all right, pick a page, and then I'd have a joke for them instantly. So, I mean, that's just weird because that isn't what makes a comedian, I guess. Wait, so what is that? If people are saying that a lot, is that what they expect from comedians?
In terms of just being ready with jokes?
Yeah, what do you think people expect when someone says, "I'm a comedian," and then what?
That's a good question. I think comedians usually try and keep people in the dark about that. Right? It's like usually that's a red flag. I think it was in fact a New York Times crossword the other day. It's like red flag, and the answer was comedian. So usually comedians are pretty closeted.
Just one red flag
until you're on stage. You know, yeah. Hopefully you have something else propping up your identity.
Yeah, because they do have comedians with what was that? Comedians with felonies. That's actually a stand-up special thing out here. Have you been on that?
You know, it's a shame. I asked to be on that because, believe it or not, despite my legal training and licensure, I've actually been arrested on 3 different continents in my youth. So you'd think that.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Back when I used to actually rap and stuff, you know, these things went hand in hand. But yeah, no. Look
like where?
Like Italy and Senegal, and then here in the U.S. as well. But yeah, no, no felonies though. They actually have a few comics that do have proper felonies.
Have you ever been to those places, Carmen?
I lived in Italy for 6 months.
Nice. What part?
Milan.
Oh, cool.
Milan.
I was down in Rome, but also in northern Italy. Very
like
nice.
The movie. Like the movie Milan.
With an I instead of a U.
Oh, you're thinking Milan.
Oh, like
Milano, Italy.
Like the cookies. Okay, like the cookies.
Yes.
It's like
Milano.
The northern part of Italy.
Like the cookie. There.
Yeah,
That's how you
it's like
say
it's got that chocolate thin layer thing.
And then there's the cookie.
That is the way. That's kind of what makes. Well, no, I think you need the entire thing to make the cookie. Yeah, or else it would be just chocolate. I've never known if there's chocolate actually inside. I just seen the outside layer. But I think you would still count even if you didn't have an arrest record because you would be there for the felons.
There you
as
go.
as a lawyer.
Right? Yeah, fortunately I don't do that kind of law, but yeah, I could try and play that angle.
You do the tech law.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if we have any troubles, it wouldn't be. Oh,
Yeah. Well, next time you have a trademark issue, I remember your buddy on the show last time was talking about having to change his name from the dragons to the dragons, the something.
Oh, I had that shit happen.
That's the kind of thing I can help you with. What was your issue?
Let's discuss it.
Oh, well, my band's first name was Capybara, and Last FM has this really weird thing where two bands cannot have the same name. They get put on the same page, and so we were releasing our first singles, and like all our music was being attributed to some band that wasn't even around anymore from like, I don't know, Oklahoma or someplace in the Midwest, and we were like, what is going on? And so, yeah, they basically, Last FM was like, well, there's nothing we can do. This is just how, and it was propagating to all these other sites like automatically because everybody was using that as like a source site. So we just ended up changing our name because we were like, we're not going to even deal with this. But I don't know.
Rough.
Well, if they're not around, that shouldn't count anymore unless they're considered golden oldies or classics.
But oftentimes it's just like, what are you going to do when you're faced with this platform that you can't get through to somebody?
Yeah.
You can convince Last FM to change their algorithms. But yeah, sometimes it's easier to just capitulate in these situations.
Yeah, because that would be just you fighting for her to keep her name.
This is like extra hours, and it's like, especially if you're not very far along in your process, it's like it doesn't really make sense to like spend all that time to try and.
Wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah.
You gotta think about if it'd be worth it, yeah. Because one time I was told, "Hey, we got a good case here." And I was like, "Okay, I've never really won a case before. I think I could feel good. I've been accused of so many things. This could be good. People might actually think I'm a good person now." But then I was told, "But the thing is, it would take a lot of years." And you'd have to be going to the court a bunch of times. And so I don't know if you'd want to go through that, or we could just be okay with you just not being guilty of anything. Well, yeah, it does sound good. Gosh, you never get any kind of compensation for like all your time you had to go through, right? You just won and you get what you were trying to win.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the claims available to you, but usually, yeah, I mean, even if there is something to win, very few people will tell you it's worth it. The amount of stress that you go through to fight anything legal, no matter which side of it you're on, is usually a lose-lose scenario.
What is a gag order? Can you
That's been in the news lately.
Yeah, it has been.
Well, yeah.
But,
well, I mean, you're talking about Trump. Yeah, I mean, we're talking. Law is kind of politics, I guess. But yeah, so that situation, like gag order. So, can you like get around the situation? Like, does it have to be very specific, or can it be very broad to where?
That's a great question.
I guess I can't really.
Yeah, I'm not. I wish I was that kind of lawyer and I could have a better answer for you. I don't really know. I mean, a lot of people will conform their activity based on how much they fear and respect the law, and a lot of processes, legal and otherwise, rely on a lot of just blind acceptance. And when you're faced with someone who's just like, nah, I'm not going to be gagged, what are you going to do about it? And then, they have to actually reconcile the political ramifications of enforcing such an order against such an individual. It's these are unprecedented times.
I guess when you're out there, it's pretty easy to just put a gag order on them. Like someone like me, I guess they probably wouldn't care to. I have some bad luck. Maybe me, yeah.
A gag order usually only will happen in the context of an ongoing trial, and the only purpose of a gag order usually that can be granted is you can't talk about this thing because it's going to affect an ongoing trial and cause some perversion of justice. And usually the consequences are in and of itself. It's like, oh, you had a winning case? Well, you violated a gag order, so now you don't. So, yeah, I mean, it would be amazing if that were brought to bear on Trump here, or if that was the best bullet in in the chamber, but
Wait,
we'll see.
so
We'll see.
if you don't follow along this gag order thing now,
Which he's not, because it's Trump.
I mean, it is tough for the guy. But so if you violate that, it's like, yeah, now he's
be held
guilty.
in contempt of court and
Yeah.
be locked up or fined.
Well, yeah, your options are open there. I mean,
Oh no, that's at the judge's discretion, not yours.
well, not my, I'm not the one coming up with the
Or
options.
Trump.
You're talking about
It's
the.
not at Trump's.
I'm talking about the judge would come up with the options. Man, that must be a trip. He's like, let's see about these options here. Well, I mean, so then pretty much you violate some gag order. Now you're accused of whatever you might be saying you're not guilty of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the consequence of you violated gag order, therefore you are guilty of all the crimes that were under consideration.
But legally, though.
But I mean, the consequences. I mean, you can be. It could even be a felony to violate a gag order. I imagine, especially in a federal trial. But I don't know. Was it a federal case that he got the gag order? Or was it a state
can
one?
happen
Was it a
is
state
they
Which
one?
one?
declare it a mistrial because it was swayed by it so much
Right.
that they would have to do it all over again. And if he kept doing that, I mean, he could inevitably just keep putting off his day in court. But sooner or later, they would just. He would have to get some lawyer or something else that would just say, you need to stay out of the courtroom. We'll go ahead and defend you from inside the box.
So they could do that. You could just have someone else get them. You know what? I'm not a big fan of speaking for myself and like courts and all that. Anyway, one time I went to court and the judge said, he was like asking me to speak, and I was like, oh, I think that's how I got in trouble the last time. I think I'll let other person handle it. I was like, or whoever, maybe I can go back home because they didn't show up. So whoever can appoint me.
Yeah, but in this case, it's not so much anything that he said in court that's of issue. Like whether whether he's, I don't even know if he has appeared in court on these things. Maybe he has, but whether or not he has, I think that the order has more to do with what he's saying outside of court, whether or not he was to appear. So
Harassing people,
saying stuff about the case that
So
or trying to persuade anyone's opinion. Yeah.
he's got a broad range of stuff he could talk about. It's all saying stuff about the case that gets him in the trouble.
The judge has latitude to define what the gag order covers based on the parameters of the case, but making
okay. Well, he's just feeling a little
attacks
attacked,
on the judge that is overseeing your case is. I mean, I didn't know that you needed to be a lawyer to know not to do that.
That judge looked like he had a sense of humor, though. Did you see that judge?
Yeah, a lot of them do.
He was posing for the camera, like, yeah. That judge looked like he was having a good time up there. I don't know which side he was going for. I don't know what direction that goes with that. It's something there, because I've seen the loss prevention people at my work, and they have a great old smile when they're doing their loss prevention stuff. Just people are doing that kind of job. So he's never showed. Well, I mean, he's never showed up to the court. You're saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm not sure. I'm just saying the gag order piece would be apart from that. So like he wouldn't necessarily need to be in court at all in order to be subject to a gag order or to be in violation of one.
Well, we really got into the politics there. The reason this was good is I was wondering. I mean, I kind of like the way the guy speaks in a way, and the reason I say that is because. How would you feel of him as an open micer? That's why I say that, man. Maybe this needs to be in a different realm. How would you think about him at like a comedy show?
Oh, he was funny on SNL.
He was better than Bill Clinton, I believe. Yeah.
Did Bill go on? Hillary was supposed to go on right before the election, and she was sick or something, or called it off for some reason. Yeah. I honestly think that cost her the election. Honestly, in 2016.
But when was he on SNL?
Like May of that year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that helped too.
I mainly know the parodies of him on SNL.
So you think he did good?
Well, I mean, what's funny is that they had a whole skit of like him and his family in the White House and like playing up what that would be like. And I mean, it's exactly what it ended up being for 4 years. I mean, how can you not vote for that? Who would want to cancel the funniest TV show in American politics, right?
I feel like
Obviously, you know, at the expense of the environment and women's rights.
Than Miker than he did at Press.
I mean, see, even well, that's that's Paul in the background. Even him saying that, like, gosh darn it, he's got some
charisma.
Paul don't even like Trump, and he even had a positive about him there. He thinks he would be good at the open mics. Gosh darn it, he hit you somewhere. I think he was good with dogs too, wasn't he?
I think you're thinking of Hitler.
Oh, no, he wasn't good with dogs either.
No, Hitler was really good with dogs.
Until he tried the cyanide on his dog and killed him first.
Yeah, sure, that was the very end. You know?
I know you're not going to be able
Wait,
to
when was this?
Wolfie.
When was this? When was this?
The bunker?
Yeah, the bunker. He killed his dog. He made his dog try it and die first before he killed
His
himself.
dog was German, wasn't he?
He killed his kids and his wife,
he killed
too.
his wife, right?
Yeah, Ava Braun.
Didn't have
His
kids.
girlfriend.
She was, or
His
his
people's
girlfriend,
kids.
yeah. She wasn't gonna get out of
Well, wasn't his dog German? His dog was German too, wasn't he?
No, he loved his dogs.
So he
was killing him to protect him from the
German
evil Americans.
Shepherd, it was still a German dog because they were in Germany.
and who said about him killing his kids? Was that?
It wasn't his kids. I mean, everyone else's kids.
Well, because I'm getting back at what
Goebbels'
Dash is
kids.
talking
Yeah,
about.
you didn't have kids.
Yeah, he didn't have kids.
So you said kids, but you said something about he killed some kids he had. What?
No,
I'm the one who said.
I think he did.
Okay,
They
you said
killed all
something
the
about him
kids.
killing kids.
Yeah, Goebbels' kids and everyone else's
So the
kids.
thing is, he didn't have his own kids.
Right, so the dog was the closest he could do.
So it was like,
symbolically.
yeah, you know, he did like a
Participation trophy.
sometimes he did like a shoulder shrug thing, right?
Hitler?
Yeah, sure, that's what he did.
That's
Yeah.
Mussolini.
He was famous for doing the dap.
He did dabs. Yeah, my
Maybe Chaplin.
So I've never said this before, but I have a little German in me. I just never said that before.
This is a safe space.
Hopefully he's wearing a condom.
My grandma, she didn't feel right about the whole being German thing because of Hitler. And as a coincidence, I had another grandma who was a Jewish.
A Jewish Jew.
She was actually the one I liked best. Well, I don't mean like the best Jew. Actually, she is. Actually, she is my favorite Jew.
That's right. It's time for my favorite Jew.
Who is both of you? Who's your favorite Jewish person? Unless you have Jewish in you.
Noam Chomsky, maybe?
Oh, Noam Chomsky's awesome.
Okay, you go. That's pretty far back.
No, he's still alive.
He's
Is
still alive.
he?
Oh, he is?
Yeah, I watched a YouTube video recently, a few years back. I mean, he's definitely getting older now.
Bernie Sanders?
You know, he was. You know, I knew he wasn't gonna win, but he had his fun moments. I knew he was gonna win, so I wasn't so nervous. The meme with the chair. That was great, wasn't it? Like him and his he looked like he was freezing, and they would just stick
I remember that
in all the photos. That was great, wasn't it?
That was
fun.
fun.
I feel like there was a lot of Burning Man people that really supported him.
Yeah.
And I realized a supporter is if you vote for someone, you're a supporter. Is that right?
No, you got to donate as well. No,
Is that what counts?
No, I don't know. I don't know if anyone has an authority to say what makes a supporter or not.
Okay.
I guess if you don't vote for them and you call yourself a supporter, there might be a
because
decision article.
I feel weird being a supporter at times. I mean, if I were called a supporter, because I don't worship these people, you know. I mean, it kind of takes a lot. I got to hang out with the person first. I always said I would want to I would want to have a beer with some of these politicians to get to know them more. But that was till I got a little older, and I realized they probably roofing me. and I don't know what would happen. I'm not saying like they would, I'd end up naked. Maybe they would. Maybe I would end up in a cell. I don't know. But the politicians seem like that, right? And they would just
Like people that would roofie people.
yes, right.
Maybe some. Maybe some that have been convicted for child assault.
Okay, so
like that one dude, I forget what his name was.
Gates.
is it?
Has Gates been?
Oh, maybe he
he
hasn't.
So
No.
so you know about Gates though. Are you pretty hip to the politics?
I'm very politically active. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I feel like this is good because Dash here, a lot of your stuff is about like you seem like you're up on the current events. So this is good. Well, you say you're active. What kind of active?
Like I've voted in every single election since I turned 18. I read up on candidates. I spend weeks like researching all the different like props, and I'm very I'm very concerned about like making the community, local and state and national politics like a better place and more progressive, and
This is important. See, it's all about the show coming together, people talking, and people from the outside getting to know people in, and this is kind of a go vote sort of. We're supporting going.
And millennials
going
are
to
so
vote.
bad at voting. Like I don't understand
That could be good and
what's
bad.
wrong
I don't know.
with my generation.
Well, see, we're supporting the vote here, going and voting. You feel like there's certain people that maybe should not. Well, okay. Actually, you hit a good point. Certain people that aren't with your mindset, maybe not voting, because you said you read up, you get to know the candidates. What if people don't do that?
A lot of people don't.
Maybe they should hold back. Right?
I mean, I love making enemies of people needlessly by advocating for literacy tests, which, of course, the moment you say that is like, what is this racist asshole talking about? Because if you're familiar at all with literacy tests, you'll remember
It was
that they
the
were
voter
used.
procession.
Is this the critical race thing?
Well, I mean, it would definitely be a subject that would be taught in any appropriate critical race
You don't
class.
like this?
No.
Okay.
Well, I think there's just an interesting, unexplored opportunity there, because I think that people have a really bad taste in their mouth with the idea of withholding the franchise of being able to vote from any group. Because if you look throughout history, the more we've been inclusive about extending the right to vote, the better governance has done for those groups that have gotten included. So it's very hard to say that anyone is going to be served by being denied from being able to vote,
certain
right?
races, certain
But
Having
neighborhoods.
representation in government. I mean, like, look at all the abortion laws that are happening right now. They're all being passed by mostly male legislatures. So if there was more women in those legislatures, they wouldn't be able to get those bills through in these state governments.
And you listen to all of the exegesis of them now, and they just talk about them on NPR, and they can't even get the senators who voted for these things to come and defend their bills after it's tragic, women dying because of deadly miscarriages and stuff.
Yeah.
But the point I was getting back to though is that we have this really bad memory of literacy tests because they were used as this tool to prevent minorities from being able to vote. Because if you were not white, you had to pass this test that proved that you knew all this stuff that anyone in this room would be.
I'm talking about like the 70s.
Yeah, no, you're going back well before then. Like
okay, but not now.
Late from the very turn of the 20th century up through like the 60s, 70s when the civil rights movement went into this stuff.
Just so people know here.
Right. So, but the problem is that, it means that anytime someone brings up the idea of qualifying the franchise, you're reminded of these ways that it was used to take votes away from these marginal groups. But, these days, if you were to think about it in a completely pragmatic way and remember why we have voting in the first place, I think a lot of us associate voting as being a type of human right, that humans have to be able to vote and it's part of your personhood to get to vote. When really the purpose of voting is that's supposed to be the mechanism that gets us the best governance. In fact, if you look at it, we don't have a constitutional right to vote. Your states have a right to vote. Like, your state might grant you a right to vote. But as a citizen of a given state, you might not even have a right to vote in many states in this country. In California, we do, unfortunately. It's cool. But not in every state, right? So there's
certain things that are given in California. Like, she brought up women's rights with the abortion. That's always guaranteed in California, right?
Well, should never say never, especially in...
Yeah, never say never. But Newsom has said that, you know, even if they pass a federal ban, which, you know, they're going to try, I'm sure, like, he's not going to enforce it. So he's kind of just, like, bring it on, you know. But who said, I mean, later down the road, like, if politics change, people in power change, like, yeah, I don't know.
And I just think that these days we're so vulnerable to misinformation, right? Like, we've really come to understand how powerful fake news is, especially in front of people that don't have the faculties to tell the real thing from the not real thing. And
it's just Google.
But I mean, it begs the question of, do we need to reevaluate what is safe and what works for a democratic standpoint? Does it really help to have someone who's been convinced that the earth is flat to be voting on everything the same way that everyone else does? And I mean, it's hard to say that the vote should be taken away from anyone. So the way that I would frame it is that everyone gets to participate in voting, but as part of voting, you have to pass a basic thing. And I don't care if it's just a simple math test, just anything. You just have to do absolutely, and it has to be equal, right? You can't draw lines in terms of some people are grandfathered in or whatever. You have to put some mechanism in place, but any qualifier, I really don't care what it is. Obviously, you want something as objective as possible, accepting the fact that there is nothing that could be truly objective. But some qualifier in place that would narrow down the chaff, and all of a sudden, those people who have taken the time to research the issues and stuff would be rewarded because their vote would count for more, because it wouldn't be drowned out by people who heard something loud enough that them and all 8 of their siblings got to go and get counted for it.
Well, yeah, I've known people that are...
It's a hard gray line, though. Where do you draw that? I mean, for me, like, I feel like these news outlets that are pushing this fake information, like, they shouldn't be allowed to call themselves news. You know, like, literally Fox News goes to Congress and says, oh, we're entertainment. I'm like, you shouldn't be able to, like, call yourself a news outlet if you're saying that you're entertainment and that you're not actually reporting facts. Like, that, like, news, like, category needs to be taken away from you, and people need to be able to understand that what they're saying is not necessarily reality, or have a disclaimer and be like, this is a person's opinion, this isn't necessarily true, or something. You know, I know some social media outlets are starting to do that now with, like, anti-vaccination misinformation and, like, all that, but, you know, I think it needs to happen on a, like, bigger scale.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I watched the other ones with the Fox News, because I've been more I've been more conservative, so I see that angle, but I still feel like I have a brain. These stations, because I've watched that Fox News, and then I'm like, yeah, I can't even watch this anymore. It's like every breaking news isn't even breaking news, and it seems like they just want to throw things out there all day, and you watch it, it's like, this is to pander or get attention here. If it was real breaking news, it would be on the other stations here.
But at the same time, I would say that Fox News is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we've dealt with yellow journalism forever, and it used to just be these true tabloids, and it sucks that such a big name as Fox News has become one of them. But you've got these other pernicious actors, like the dude, Andrew Tate? Like,
okay, yeah, we could talk about that, yeah.
I mean, like, it's almost funny, but it's really scary, the reach that individuals have like that.
I am probably mad at Fox News for always canceling Greg Gutfeld. Yeah.
Did they cancel him?
Well, they always say breaking news, and then I'm like, breaking news? This happened all day. What do you mean breaking news? have you, as a station, not watched the other stations or yourself all day? Because you've been talking about this all day. With Andrew Tate, like I feel like a lot of conservatives like him. Is that right, Abby? Because you brought him.
But it's not just conservative. It's also just kids trying to get laid. Like if you're just a kid, like Googling like how to talk to girls, you're gonna find Andrew Tate, and you're gonna find him very persuasive.
Well, I never understood why, because you've heard of Andrew Tate, right? Is he more? Is he known to be conservative?
Hyper misogynist.
So that is right. And I never understood. I never understood why the conservatives go towards him. So I don't know if he said something about liking Trump or
he tells them what they want to hear. Right? Like, there's a lot of boys in this world that want to be told that you can be respected by women without respecting women.
He is very smart, but evil smart, it seems like.
Yeah.
Because when I watch him, he's like, that is on point, but that's very horrible. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's probably got women in cages or something. Like
manipulation is real, but I mean that's the thing is that like, and that's the
why do we applaud
crazy
this
element
man?
there is that he succeeded for a while of years building up this following. And obviously, he started as like a famous boxer or something. But,
yeah,
but
I watch MMA.
But now recently, like he's got human trafficking charges in Romania. You know, like he talks this big game.
And these are actual charges.
No, yeah, in Romania, where charges don't just materialize unless there's more than enough fact.
Sex trafficking.
Yeah, it doesn't help that when we see some of the last things he said, it's not like he denies how he treats women. It's just, he says things as if they're asking for it. It's like, well, hey, they came to me, they asked for it. They act this way. They're easy being manipulated. Like, yeah, man, that means they have an issue that maybe we could be a better man and help with, not mess with their mind and
Or maybe he's pushing whatever his perception is of them onto them, and they have no desire to engage at all, which I feel like happens a lot with women. It's like the guy's like, "Oh, you're just playing hard to get," and the woman's like, "No, I'm really not interested. Please leave me alone."
And he will. Yeah,
people hearing what they want to hear and perceiving it how they want to perceive it, casting their spin on what's happening.
So he was like an online pimp or something, right?
I don't know the full details of what.
He did say they would come to him,
but it's a bad situation. But I mean, he's just yet another example of one of these characters, and there can be some more. I mean, we've democratized media. We've made it so easy for people to get their voice out there. And we just kind of did so knowing it because remember the early internet, how terrible it was with just like crazy graphic porn all over the place and like a bunch of pop-ups.
It was a lot harder to get rid of.
Right, yeah.
Now we could trust Pornhub. We could trust it on our phone now.
We've made the mistake of thinking we can trust this stuff. We are now living in a reality where we think there's this safety there when we really have to be concerned about all these influences.
I got an iPhone.
Yeah, that'll help you with the viruses, sure, but will it help you, navigate all the information you're being presented with? Is, I think, the real thing.
I can just turn off my phone and turn it on again. You got to go on the Google and find out what's real or not when someone says something like, Andrew Tate, he got charged, and there was nothing really saying he's looking at his past videos. He's not really quite denying it. First, you get like Russell Brand, right? Like, see, we live in a world where you got all these things coming at people, and there's not a lot true either. Like, you believe in a Russell Brand situation.
I mean, yeah, I haven't heard too much of it, but I would tend to believe what I've heard. I haven't even I really know very, very little about it, but I haven't even heard any denials coming from his side on that one. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard not to believe this stuff when we've been presented with so much reason to believe it. I still can't get over Brett Kavanaugh. The fact that we pushed that through, that's going to be a stain on our country's reputation for a few generations. Like, that was that was on C-SPAN for everyone in the world to see, where we were just like, oh, what? Someone has questions about this? It's too late. Actually, we already voted for him. He's already on this thing where you're in it for life. And no
Did
one's
something new just come up?
No. Just reflecting on his Devil's Triangle thing. It was a drinking game. As someone who made a drinking game, as researcher he is,
it was a drinking game.
Yeah.
So like it was like, say you got your cans of the beer, and then who has the roofie? Who am I sleeping with tonight? That sort of thing, right?
Spin the roofie.
No, but yeah, and then there was that other. It seems to be if you had some high society thing, you're getting away with something. If you're out there.
Me?
If you're out there in like the high society, you're getting away with whatever it is.
Yeah.
Are you high society? Are you high society?
Former president.
Yeah. Working in tech.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
You're a highfalutin lawyer.
Are you high society?
I didn't.
I could have used a lawyer back in the day, but as I've gotten older, I feel like, I'm not targeted so much anymore. I've had police pull me over. Well, in fact, it was a while ago since I've gotten pulled over. That's amazing. I could say that. I got pulled over, and the cop said, "Hey, I just want to let you know your lights out." I'm like, okay, all right, I'll get out, and I'll go to jail with you. And he's like, no. Like I was. The fact that I could just get out of my car and him not freak out and pull his gun on me, that was a good sign. And I started opening my door, and he's like, "Wait, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting ready to go to jail with you, officer." That's what happens. And he's like, "No, I just wanted to tell you your light was out." I'm like, thank you. And that's how I knew, like, age is kind of cool. Getting older is kind of cool in a way. There's some benefits. Oh, wait, hold on.
I'm waiting for that.
You have to be white?
Also, by the way, I just want to let you know you're white.
You have to be white?
It helps.
Because I don't identify with white.
Well, that helps too.
Don't tell him that. Then you'll really be okay. I'll get
blast no offense while you're getting.
Well, I don't want him identifying me either. I mean, if he wants to think I am a certain thing, okay. I don't have to tell him my background, sir. I'm Portuguese and have some French in me. I don't want to tell.
A little German.
Right, now that we know. Now the public knows.
That's what will either take me down or give me a high five. I don't know. Yeah, it was. Speaking of that, it was kind of awkward. I was at this birthday party, and like I came for my friend's birthday. I know the other people. I guess they were all the Elks. That's not how I know from, but once they heard my last name, they all knew the rest of the family. And it's amazing because I don't know the rest of the family really. Like, I know their names. They're like, "Oh yeah, your cousin, are you this person's son or what?" And I was like, "No, but we'll get to that. I just want to hear what you know about this person." "Oh wow, that's amazing. You did. This person used to work for you." And then they got to they knew my dad. I was like, "Wait, what? Wow, tell me about him. 'Cause I'd like to know some stuff about him too. Let me know." And I was like, "Yeah, I hardly know the guy, but I met him at a funeral, a bunch of years back." And that's when I think they drew back. They're like, "Well, hardly know him myself." I was like, "No, keep on going. I want to hear about my dad. I want to hear about him. Let me know." I said, because I'm kind of jealous of the guy. I mean, I would have loved to be really white. I'd love to have like a nice house. I'd like to play sports and be like I got to deal with what a man is now instead of just being a man. Like if you had car trouble, if one of you had car trouble, I'd be thinking, yeah, I'd like to help you because I like helping people. Let's hope my presence does that because I don't really
No, I
know
work on
too
cars.
much. And what else are like supposed man stuff? You know, well he drinks a lot. That doesn't count. Well, yeah, well he's a biker. Man stuff. Like he seems like a macho guy. He says he's his buddy and stuff. And I been nice. So it was nice hearing these stories. So I was like, go on, yeah. And then I said he left. I said he left when I was 1, and they're like, oh well, we hardly know the guy. Like, I could tell they were holding back. So I was like, no, don't, it's fine, it's fine. And then that's when I said I actually did meet him, and I was very confused because he seemed like a good guy. Well-rounded guy, and you know, if your dad leaves and you meet him, you're supposed to go, man, I can't wait to see how horrible this guy is. It's because he left. He must suck. He must have like addiction issues, or he must be living on the street. You know, what's the issue here? But I suck, I guess. He was like, hey, my life is going pretty good. I don't know. I don't know what he thought about my mom. Maybe he was like, she seems all right. But this thing that came out, I got a bad vibe here. This guy. He's gonna be a guy, but he's gonna be a bad luck guy. Yeah. Well, that was that. But yeah, so it was nice hearing about the family. You know. Hey, yeah, the white thing. Like my cousin, he could get pulled over. He says who he is, and that's it. They just go about your way. I was with him once, and I was telling him the spiel. I said, "Look, all right. I'm gonna get arrested, and you're gonna." Could you drive my car back to your house? And I was getting all nervous, and then he said, who was it? Boom! That was it. I was like, what? It's amazing. Could I get your business card? So I could just say, I know this guy.
Absolute power corrupts. Ooh. Absolutely.
So that's why I don't identify with white. I don't really, and I love this society where we could just identify with stuff. It is great because I fit in with the other things. Like I had some. I was Paul said it was the gay goldfish earlier.
Fit in with the gay goldfish.
And I still feel very straight. So I don't. I just identify as not quite a white, I guess. Yeah. So you've been doing the comedy shows, huh? You did the comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went from a comedian. So there was a comedy show the other day, and guy is best friends with the other guy. I invited him. I actually work for the guy, and he got as it is. The guy was willing to pay $35 for a show that I feel could have been an open mic, because I didn't see any advertisements for it. I even looked on the guy's page, and it wasn't displayed there. And I looked on the places page, and I didn't see it there. And so he's paying good money. In fact, he even got haggled at the door. She's like, it would have normally been $60, but I gave you a deal. And he was laughing, but it must not have been great enough because he couldn't tell me who was in the other lineup besides he at
was it Ryan?
No, not him. It wasn't him. Yeah, so he couldn't say who was in the rest of the lineup except for his best friend he came to see. At the time, they were best friends until that night, where he laughed, and it was bad. He laughed, and the comedian considered it heckling.
Doesn't that happen like at any comedy show?
Yeah, what is that, man? Are comedians getting too sensitive?
Oh wait, another comedian laughed at the comic on stage.
Yeah, you know Joseph Enolin.
Enolin.
Yeah, I like the guy actually.
Without even going into who it is.
Wait,
was it because he was telling a joke and he laughed at him, or did he laugh?
Oh,
at
actually,
him?
this is marketing him. Yeah, he was
I know
laughing at his jokes.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he is. So like, I just feel like, yeah, no, you know what? In fact, let's pull out his name because we're gonna just the situation. We could do that, but not him. And you know me, I feel comfortable putting down someone.
I have a
and
whole
yet
bit
he's
about something like that.
you know, about Joseph. Or
No,
about. I'm not saying we have to put him down here.
So I'm unlike most of my contemporaries. I'm unlike, if you want to, you can turn up my mic a little bit. I'm unlike my contemporaries a lot. I actually will support the show, watch the show, laugh at the comic if I think they're funny. I won't be in my head writing in my book or headphones on. I'll actually be tuned in, and if they say something funny, I'll laugh. If they're looking for some sort of feedback, like who in here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's me. Whatever.
Okay.
So I'm always supportive of who's on stage because that's what I want. And somebody had a really good set, and if they can make me laugh, because I've been watching other comics for like 15, 16 years, they can make me laugh. I think that's harder than making
you made me come up with something else too. You made me come up with something else too, because it wasn't because he considered that he was just having a good time,
right?
And so he felt, because afterwards he told my friend, how he felt. He actually said not to come to his shows anymore.
Because he laughed at one of
and he
jokes.
Felt very offended.
He laughed or he left?
He laughed. Yeah. He was laughing, and that felt like he was heckling. And he said after the show, he said not to come. Actually, he called him out on stage. Told him to shut up. Yeah. He told him to shut up while on stage.
No shit.
So the weird thing is, that is to me when I heard that, because he was also doing crowd. He was doing crowd work. So I'm thinking at the same time, why is he complaining about being what he considers heckling? I'm not hearing heckling here. But he's also at the time doing crowd work. So even if he did say something, dude, you're doing crowd work right now.
Laughing is not heckling.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see it
and then when he told him to shut up, I was like, dang, he's not doing crowd work at that time. He's getting in his feelings.
Who's laughing? If it's the busboy, the waitress, the guy walking by, or the people in the front row.
He's actually doing crowd work, but at that time, so like I'm also like, if you felt like he was heckling, how the heck are you being offended while you're doing crowd work, and then you break from your crowd work these people to tell this guy shut up? Like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I know Joseph Anelin, and he's an incredibly talented comic, and he's very wise and discerning.
I want him to come here.
I wouldn't expect him to step out of line on somebody on anything like that. So I would assume it comes down to one of two things, and I think the first is the one that he was probably experiencing there, where if someone's laughing not at your jokes, but in response or anything, but just laughing in order to make noise and draw attention to themselves and detract from what you're doing in a way that is not actually responsive. In which case, that is the same thing as heckling. But the other thing that can happen, which isn't heckling, and it's hard to get mad at people for, even though it's just as annoying, is someone who laughs too easy. And there's someone who in the comic audience, the comic community I can think of, who's like, every show they go to, they will laugh at every joke, and they will laugh so loud that it cheapens the experience for everyone else, because everyone's just like, even if it was funny, it definitely wasn't that funny. Like, what are you doing? Right?
They might go viral, but not the comedian.
Did they pay this person to be in the audience?
Right, and that's what it starts to feel like. And and you're just like, I love you, but please just
say that. Say that, man.
I don't care who's laughing. I don't care who it is. And I've been in an audience with Robin Williams, and he has like the most famous laugh you'll ever hear. So when you hear Robin Williams laugh like 20 rows behind you, or even 20 feet behind you,
that's hard to complain
about. You know
about.
that's Robin Williams. And if you're a comedian that's one of our contemporaries and Robin Williams is laughing at you, that's not heckling. But
folks, if you hear Robin Williams laughing at you, it's Halloween.
Oh, actually, also, maybe we hit a point here. It was called the Speakeasy. Ah, okay. So this was needing to be addressed also because Joseph, quit ignoring me. You need to come on the show here before I give up and stop coming here. Come on, let's do this. But maybe because it was called Speakeasy. But also, if I'm paying a lot of money, you might hear me be loud. But also, this guy didn't care how much it cost. See, that's the thing. He just wanted to support. He didn't care how much it cost. Like, he kept saying that because, me, I don't like spending money. So he was like, you don't get it. It wasn't about the money. I would have paid a lot more. He just wanted, 100 might be the limit, but he would have paid good money just to support his friend. He did not care. And maybe you should have done like your reaction. Maybe. If that's how he felt. No, but he's like, I don't want you coming to my shows anymore. So now, it starts hurting. Hurt your fans' feelings.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Are comedians way too sensitive now?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's part of it. Stage time is such a rare thing. People get pretty touchy about not having their set. I guess. I don't know.
No, okay, and then you do the rapping too. We get you some.
Well, want to interview Carmen a bit before we're keeping the focus on me? I'm happy to do either.
Oh, this is about it. We're gonna display your talent here.
Or do you have that little instrumental I sent you? Do you have that one ready to go?
Wait, I got
the
one.
First one.
Oh,
the one that I sent you on Facebook.
I got one.
Yeah, but then I would just be doing something off the cuff, whereas I had something.
Yeah, off the cuff. Well,
right,
actually,
that's going to be a lot less.
Well, I do have that, but it would be played on the phone because you gave me it through this thing. We could just play it in studio here if you want.
I suppose. Is that what we're going to do next? Is that what the next chapter?
So what it would be would.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Would you be okay just like that?
Yeah. Sure. If
okay.
You can mic it, it's going to be
like your pizzas here.
Right, exactly. It sounds like a DoorDash.
Okay, we're not playing that. We're playing. Let's back it up. Oh yeah, it's gonna be something like that.
But all right, well, want me to?
Yeah, why don't you?
You warm up your vocals.
Set them up for success, not failure.
Well, okay. So I'll to clarify for the folks listening in at home. So we were here last week, and we had an actual rapper on the show, and Remy Red. Go check him out. But yeah, I half earnestly, half in jest, wondered if we were going to be rapping on the show. So I asked if you were going to rap, and you said your mom wanted me to rap on the show. So
yeah,
this one's definitely dedicated to her.
And we couldn't quite download from a phone. Also, too bad I can't record.
And apologize to the people at home. I tried to get one of my buddies who's a proper musician to help me actually create a real backing track out of this. So shout out to Brian Nip, who hates being identified by his full name publicly.
Yep, yeah.
Fuck you, Brian, for not helping me with that. Instead, we just have this terrible, terrible melodeon that sounds like a child playing a recorder.
Whenever you're ready, just that right there.
All right.
It starts right when you press it, so...
Apologies in advance for these terrible antics, but here you asked for this.
Nice. Freestyle right. Oh, wait. Oh.
So, I'm the bounty hunter. And when I say bounty, I mean quicker picker-upper. Always plunder, never blunder, and I'll tear a mind asunder. Makes you wonder how I always get a number. Laying pipe like a plumber. Gone fishing all summer, and they'll never recover. In fact, you should ask your mother if she uses a rubber. Because if the answer's no, must be expecting a brother. Did I stutter? Hell no, motherfucker. I'm the real bounty hunter. Said, I come to claim bounty. Give me your booty. Tug on that gold. Show me it's bouncy. Said I come to claim bounty. Give me your booty, tug on that gold, show me your fancy. Yep, your booty's my possession, but don't be stressing, it's a 9-to-5 profession. So count your blessings, now the class is out of session. Not taking any questions. You're feeling misdirection, then go repeat the lesson. Cause I come to claim bounty. Give me your booty, tug on that gold, show me it's bouncy. That's I come to claim bounty.
Work a little bit.
Give me your booty, tug on that, go. Show me your fancy.
Give me that booty, tug on that fancy.
Yeah, see, stupid and short.
I don't want to twerk a little bit there.
Good. I'm glad that I inspired you.
No.
Thanks for putting yourself out there.
Yeah, right. See, aren't you glad that you didn't have to
I brought
endure
some
that last time?
because I knew we couldn't download that. Dude, we're playing those instruments, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was
Cool.
a stupid little melodian. Yeah.
I didn't know that was the actual beat you were trying to flow to.
Well, I mean, it's hardly that. It's just a little ditty. You asked me to put something together.
It's
so.
hard to write something like that. Wow. All right. So we'll see now how Carmen's music goes with this. I feel like we got. Whenever you throws those up, I feel like we should get like a card girl in here. Wait, is that sexist? Is that
bit, yeah.
Are card girls sexist?
I think objectifying women is sexist. Yeah.
But you're thinking like the wrestling or the boxing when they come out with the big cards? Okay.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
I was like, what is that referring to?
Yeah, like...
That is important.
Fishnets.
Well,
Card person.
I've always thought it was empowering for
Flapper
women.
dresses.
Is that
No, because it's just like men ogling women at a car show or whatever. It's not really... How is it empowering women?
Well, because they... if it's something they
Only
want to do...
objectified. Yeah.
I guess so.
Now that doesn't make it sound good either, man. I gotta make it sound bad here. Let me think of a way to make it sound good. Because they're
you're on to something though.
okay, good.
Get a card boy.
Because they're putting themselves out there in expressing themselves, saying it's called body positive. Is that right?
Yeah, there you go. Sex positive, body positive.
Oh, is that right? Am I right?
Sure.
Do they really just celebrate diversity of women's bodies though at this?
Oh, there's all
Absolutely.
kinds of
I think so.
there's
They do?
all kinds of
yeah.
races that do this. Yeah.
They don't body shame anybody, but they
Oh, and orientations, all kinds of
Love.
orientations that do this.
their body and they can love yours too.
We were talking about this the other day. Strip clubs versus like burlesque.
Yeah, that's cool.
You go from there, and then you're like the burlesque world. You're like you see the empowering versus the different angles of things.
Well, I gotta stop being in the show, but for my opinion, it depends. Like in a stripping situation, there's people that are being oppressed, and people that don't want to be strippers, and the reason they're doing it is because it's a power situation. But there's other performers, and I think of a lot of the erotic performers, especially like people that do high wire stuff and crazy stuff, that I've seen like the bondage dinners and all these things where they have these aerial acts and people are starting each other on fire, but they want to do that. They've been doing it for years. They're like performers. They're like, like us. That's what they want to do. That's how they express themselves.
All right, got it.
Right? But then there's other people that are in, let's say, sex performing and they don't want to because they've been...
That's all bad, yeah.
But
It's
even
all
the ones
bad.
that are doing it because they want to do it, it's not like there's no negative externalities of that.
Fully
Like, imagine
against
how
human and the sex trafficking sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and child
definitely.
and trafficked and all that.
Yeah, but hey, we got 3 guys and one woman here. We gotta make sure we're giving you the power here.
After that incredibly offensive little
Not
ditty.
making sure we're going back and forth and going, hey, so what do you think, right? After we've already battered the topic there. All right, let's. Always
But
good.
you're right. The 3 guys just talked about feminism. I didn't hear her say a darn word. Hold
We
on.
know about this.
No, I want to
Trust
I'd like to
me.
know
Reach
yeah.
consensus.
I'm open.
No, but you know what? Actually, let me ask this. Are there a lot of guys that are posers also in that area of feminism? Yeah, because
You mean that say that they're pro women but
Well-
are not allies?
well, like this is a good example. The guys that wear the heels and they march in a woman's shoes. Like I feel like, do you really need to do that to support women? Like, what is this, bro?
I don't think they're doing it to support women. I think it's because they like to cross-dress.
No. Okay, no. I'm not going against the cross dress. Or the orientation. Though. What I mean is you seen that, right? The guys walk a mile in her shoes.
Sure, but those, that's probably a little performative, I'm sure, but I doubt those are the worst offenders.
I think it's for breast cancer or something. They have these things where the guys walk in women's shoes to see.
That sounds more like virtue signaling than true falsehood.
Would that be someone? Because these are guys that just doing this, they walk a mile in women's shoes, so they see what women have to go through.
Heels or something?
Is this for like you said, women's breast cancer?
It is a breast cancer cause.
Like a 5K walk in women's shoes, and you're wearing pink. Well, okay, so football players wear pink cleats in February or whatever it is. Isn't it February?
Okay. Cleats.
There's stuff like that. I get it.
Yeah, cleats.
But are they wearing stilettos walking down Market Street? I don't get it. And if they do, they're probably doing it for more than just supporting feminism.
It's probably more
they're
for
walking
themselves.
Then for their
this thing though, it's set up for the guys that walk a mile in women's shoes to like feel what women have to go through. 'Cause I already understand. I look at heels and I'm like, man, that must have taken a lot of practice to have your.
I don't walk in heels. I hate heels. I'm not really a very stereotypically female
awesome.
person. I'm literally working a job that's like 5% women, so I'm mostly work with men.
I admire that because that means you're from that normal world. Because I watched the bar.
Not that feminine world.
No, I say that because I watched. I say that because I watched the Barbie movie in the normal world where I think the normal world was the flatter feet, and the Barbie world they're born with that arch. They're born with that arch in their feet.
The toys.
Yeah, the Barbie movie.
Oh.
I didn't actually see the Barbie
I was trying to be an ally watching that. So I was trying to.
I've had a lot of friends comment and say that it's worth watching, but I haven't watched it.
You have a lot of animals. So I have
2 guinea pigs.
Only 2, okay. I thought you had like a dog or something too.
No, I don't. I don't know. I've always wanted a dog. My husband hates dogs. Actually, when we first met, he hated like all animals, and I was like, "This is a huge problem for me. If we're not gonna have kids, like I need like a pet."
Well, yeah, everyone should have a pet. Yeah.
So yeah, we settled on guinea pigs because I had owned guinea pigs for like since I was 8.
That's got to be weird. He doesn't seem like he loves animals.
He totally loves them now.
Oh, now, okay,
yeah.
Wow.
They've grown on him. He overfeeds them treats actually.
Ever thought about going to the picnic, or do you?
Yeah, we go to the picnic.
Really?
Yeah.
What was she?
Yeah, we went to the North Bay one.
Wait, we were there.
Oh, really?
And Cupertino too.
Near the girls' tent or the boys' tent?
Actually, the girls' tent.
Yeah.
Oh,
we were at the boys' tent.
Well,
why do they have girls' tents and boys' tents at the pig?
Because they are breeding machines.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they do it very fast.
It takes a second.
Is there a rainbow tent too? For one thing.
It's all about the breeding.
Under the male or the
it's all about the breeding. If you're a guy that humps guys, at least you want to have kids as a guinea pig. I guess humans are doing it now, but as a guinea pig, you won't. So they didn't need to separate. I did not go over to the guys at all. I should have hung out with the homies.
The homies.
I was just
the boys' tent's more fun. I mean, there's a lot happening. There's a lot of rumbling and moving around and sussing each other out.
We were in the same area. That's crazy. Were you in the costume contest? The guinea pig should dress up.
Yeah, he was dressed up as a pineapple.
Maybe I have a picture of you. See, I come around with my camera, but I like make sure to crop the person out.
Just get the pig.
You need to be doing a segment at somewhere like that.
Well, because there's also, I mean,
telling you.
I mean, there's also way too many kids.
Perfect.
So, also video. I'm like, oh, got a kid. All right, got to get out of it. Because, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Just don't say, oops, I got to be within 500 yards of the lawn.
Yeah. How many yards is that again? Yeah, no, yeah. Well, I mean, it just feels weird if I, like, record or take a picture of a kid. Now, if their hand just gets in there, or I get a piece of their hair, it's okay. But like, if you get really them,
just take a lock of their hair,
yeah, no. If I'm taking their hair with me, that's an issue. Yeah. But yeah. So you're already in there then. Wow. So you're on your. So that's probably how you got him. Was he going to these picnics before? Like,
no.
Is that when he found his love for guinea pigs? Was you taking him to the picnic?
We just, I used to, when we first got him, I was like, our first pigs, Arthur and Merlin. I'm like, Arthur did this today, or Merlin did that, and try and and then he starts noticing their behavior and like paying attention to them, and then, yeah.
That's cool. So was he at first like, oh gosh, guinea pigs, and he tried to like zone them out? Did he try to zone them out for a little bit, and then they warmed up to him?
Yeah, he definitely warmed up. Wow. He cuddles with them every night.
Wow, that's a good sign. I used to do that. I don't have any anymore. Luckily now, I'm with someone who has a couple of guinea pigs. I had a bunch, 15, and my mom always tried to get rid of them, and I would train them to bite the people that she was trying to give them to.
You trained them to bite?
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard of anybody being able to do that.
I told them, hey, she's going to try to get rid of you and bite people, and they knew right away because they were so calm, and then next thing you know, she'd hand them off to someone. They just started going crazy. And now I just have a cat. She is amazing, though. She doesn't like people or other animals. But I wish I could take her on trips. We do cuddle. And, not inside the bed. That's still weird. It wouldn't be so weird. You know what? It probably wouldn't be so weird with a guinea pig. Cause back in the day, I would put them in the covers. They'd run around. But I feel like when you have someone a little bigger, cuddling, no. It's too much like a real person there. If she's on my bed, I will wake up.
A very furry person.
Yeah. Well, especially a small one, Maybe if there was a bunch of them and they were just on top of each other, they could equal out. But no, if she's still on the bed when I wake up, it's like, okay, now I could get on top of the covers, maybe cuddle. But yeah, she's great. She's great. She's got her own house outside, and I don't know, she's got her own yard and all that.
Yeah. In this economy.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't know how good she's got it. Like, I get friends at work. Well, I know some of my coworkers. I know we're quite friends. But they say, you should bring her to work. I'm like, I would never torture her like that. Especially, I wouldn't want her to see where I work. Imagine I come home and she'd be so ashamed of me. Like wow. Or maybe she'd feel better. She's like, this is how you pay for my cat food. Wow. I feel sorry for you. Let me give you some extra hugs. And you must get crap pay, so let me give you some more hugs. You deserve it. She's very good like that. Like when I couldn't walk, she got scared at first. And then she was like, oh, you got rid of that walker. Let's play some of your music here. So everybody, I remembered Dash's rap. Let's do a battle. Let's compare Carmen's music here.
I concede victory. Carmen wins.
Play some of the booty music.
I don't know if I have any booty music, but we're releasing 2 singles. This is one of them. Before our show on December 8th. My band, it's a psychedelic rock band called Goodtimes, which is actually related to the guinea pig. But yeah.
We go from capybara to
I know, it has a theme, right? I'm like, I can't say guinea pig because it's like not cool enough. So like, how do I find something that's like similar?
You played with the Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. They're friends of mine.
Good people. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a part of the music scene for a while now and I've met a lot of musicians through Balanced Breakfast, which has been a great connector of musicians. But yeah, so this is a cover of These Days by Nico, and yeah.
But I let them keep saying they were going to come through. So I believe the next track is Naysayers.
Sure. Yeah.
Wait, was that right?
I don't know.
Well,
what is track one, or what is?
Oh wait. Oh, the State of Blue. Wait, State of Blue. Is this?
Yeah.
Is this political? State of Blue.
No, it's actually about death.
That's why I had to say it was political, so you could you could explain it. Wait, was this political? No. So you can say, yeah.
I have some political songs, but that one is not it.
Fight the power. So this is about the death and just death, or all kinds of blues?
I lost like a lot of people in like a space of 5 years, so like a lot of this album is about kind of processing grief, and it's been kind of meaningful. I've actually had people like who have been going through grief of their own, like find us and like write me messages and say like your music's been really helpful to me, and like yeah, so I felt like this album was like me kind of processing, but also trying to talk about things that people don't usually like to talk about, or the people going through grief are usually having to deal with it in the background while life for everyone else goes on. So yeah, that's what State of Blue is about.
Okay, I'm gonna play State of Blue because actually the first song was Summertime, but you just explained summer. State of Blue. So here we go.
I think we played something.
It was the other one.
All right, yeah. Let's roll with it.
Try to save your body as it breaks down. Fighting as I watch you waste away. Knowing that someday I'll be without you. But I wasn't ready for today. When you're in a state of blue, everything catches up with you. It was the end, we knew we'd do. Everything catches up with you. Never seems to grab me as you broke down on the sidewalk, saying you weren't ready for this news. Box up all reminders in the basement. Sit and medicate yourself till 2. When you're in a state of blue, everything catches up with you. It was the end, we knew we'd do. Everything catches up with you. I'm just in a state of blue. Everything catches up with you. It was the end, we knew we'd do. Everything catches up with you.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So tell us.
It's like haters.
Yeah, it's kind of like a song about haters and yeah, people that like basically try to tell you that it'd be really hard for you to do something, like you shouldn't try, even though they haven't ever tried. You know, it's like I feel like people like that, you know, they're always like people talking without any authority on the subject at all. They're just like, well, you know, this is a bad idea, you know. So yeah, I don't know.
So
Yeah.
let's be very judgmental of the song. All right, let's be naysayers.
Should we?
Like, no.
Oh, 'cause I got the feelings chart here. I was told to do the feelings chart, but I don't know.
All right, here we go. Naysayers.
criminalized. I don't know if that's the problem with drugs. Really, problem with it is when you see now there's a mess all over the place, the streets and all. Like,
the people wandering at San Francisco streets are not eating mushrooms.
Right.
No.
There's that for the most part.
Right?
No.
It's
They're
really
not
more of a
smoking
mental health
mushrooms off
crisis.
tinfoil. You are correct.
yeah.
They're not breaking into cars after they need more money to get mushrooms. Yeah.
They might have a hard time doing that if they're on shrooms.
You
wouldn't
like
they?
this one.
They might.
This is so preposterous. That
Right,
it's
thank you,
like,
it is, right?
Shrooms
Yeah.
would might have them licking my window, right?
Well,
Imagine
yeah.
spending your whole
Maybe
trip
LSD.
feeling the
Yeah,
regret
I
of
was
having
gonna say,
broken into
four-way
somebody's
window
car.
painting, Yeah.
Wasn't there the guy the famous guy in San Francisco that saw LSD and he had the top hat and Haight Ashbury?
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about this?
Top hat and Haight
That
Ashbury.
makes sense.
He was, I don't know, he was like, I don't know. He was
Not
like,
Emperor
street,
Norton.
I forget. I probably shouldn't say anything if I don't know the whole story.
And I'm guessing I know
No, just-
it was probably part of.
Just consider us the Fox
the
News, right?
Caucasians.
This is for entertainment purposes only, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I say so many things that people would probably turn on me because they'd be like, "Oh, I thought you were one of us," you know. But I guess I'm not really one of anyone, really. Right? I mean, that's how I kind of feel, I guess.
You're one of one.
One. Oh, one. Yeah. Yeah, I guess Creed had a point. Wow. How do you feel? You feel like you're one? I like to feel like my guests are unique here.
Yeah.
And you should have been called the capybaras. Wait, hold on. Was it the plural? Could you have done the plural?
I don't know.
Wow. What if? Cause,
I like the new name.
Yeah, no, that was kind of messed up, though.
Have you seen the goatee at the zoo?
They've got him at the San Francisco Zoo, don't they?
Yeah, my vet left to stop being a private vet to go work with them.
You said they look like guinea pigs, though.
They're related.
Oh, really? Okay.
They're like rodent forest deer. They
Okay, I have seen them then.
they're like
They called them
this big.
forest deer, I think.
yeah, because they eat Brazil nuts and like really hard to crack nuts because they've got bigger jaws than most
Are you
animals.
saying they're related to guinea pigs?
Yeah, they're all in the same.
I always thought the capybaras were.
Yeah, they
they're all in
also
the same
are.
family.
They're in different.
They don't eat nuts.
They're
though.
different families, but related in the same. I don't know what it's called, the biological whatever. But
They're all different families, really?
well, I think yeah, they're like species-wise, it's like one up or something. But
Because it's species, genus, then family, right? Then
well,
phylum.
maybe it is family.
I don't know.
I'm not a biologist.
And like I was saying the other day, I know what family is, but I don't think I've ever been in it really. Part of it, I just know what it is. That's why sometimes on holidays I like, the other ones, where my, bio ones aren't doing their community service by having me over. So I'll go over to other families' houses. Like, man, this is what it's like. Actually, that's what I do with my own. Actually, I'll go over and like, wow, that's what it's like to have a family. Wow, mom and dad. All right. How do they interact? All right. How do people how are these people raised? I want to hear their stories. I think that's why I don't really have much to say. Plus they don't probably want to hear. They don't know where to probably connect with the stories I would have to say. Are you both both have both your parents, Dash and Carmen here?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have both my parents
What
still
is that
alive.
like?
I've been very fortunate. I've got two very cool parents, and they gave me a pretty cool childhood, I gotta say. But yeah, we talked about it a bit on the last show. My mom worked for the State Department, so we were living all overseas, and my dad was a chef, and kind of basically had to give up his career to prioritize hers, but it was worth it. Her career was worth prioritizing.
He didn't mind that. Wow.
But there was, it's not like it was never without arguments and stuff. There's that side of it. I mean, I am a single dad, and my son professes to like it well enough, but I always feel like, at times that I'm denying him that experience of having a complete nuclear family and all of the things that go with that.
You don't hear about, too often, single father. It's good for him, right? Instead of, making a single mother.
I feel like now, lately, it's like co-parenting or whatever, but yeah, not usually single dad.
Yeah, that's good. It's in your case, so it's good. At least I wonder if some guys are like, you know what? Hey, I'm not gonna let the whole single mother thing keep going. I'm gonna be single dad, just to change
to spite
things
them?
up. Yeah, spite. Yeah,
That's quite a motivation.
They're trying to one up us? No way.
Yeah.
I do see a lot of guys like.
It would be very funny if that was anyone's motivation, because most of single parenting is the mothering side. Like if you're a single parent, you're a single mom more than you are a single dad.
Do
so
like
you
the
gotta
Robin
buckle
Williams
up
thing, daytime, father, nighttime, mother, or so. I'm not gonna lie, Robin Williams was how I first knew about hot flashes.
Doubtfire?
Yeah.
Oh.
It wasn't one of our conversations. He was usually a little tipsy when we were talking. But on the Miss Doubtfire, that's how I knew about hot flashes. So education. But I was watching that 90 Day Fiance, and the one guy said he said, I can't see what my life would be like without having a kid. And the woman didn't want a kid, so that's how he feels. I don't know what my life would be like. It's sort of like his life isn't worth living if he can't have a.
I feel like I feel like
Oh my God.
the people that feel that way end up having kids. I feel like if you really, really want a child, then like that's all great. But I feel like not everybody wants that.
I feel like
these
something
days.
weird is going on lately, because there's been a switch. I've noticed. Well, I watch a lot of this show. She watches The Sister Wives, kind of. Well, she's watching it. But the 90 Day. So I noticed more of the guys are pressuring the women to have the kids, and the women are like, no, I don't want kids.
I feel like
What
that
is
makes
the deal?
sense within the context of that show. I think
Oh,
if you're
okay.
a guy looking to go on a show called 90 Day Fiance,
Oh,
you probably are someone who's also baby feverish.
that's all.
I feel like a lot of those marriage shows, like they're all just like really into this like structured, preconceived concept of what they think marriage is and what it has to look like, and like, oh, you need to have a house and you need to have kids and like that's what you got to do. It's like, yeah, I've watched a few reality TV shows where they're like trying to marry, and it's like always about that. I'm like, there's like a lot of different ways to have a relationship.
Hey, I bought you fair and square. But now it's changing. There's certain the guys are all of a sudden they want the woman to pay for everything, because they say, well, you want you want man from another country. It's like, dang, it's like you see that. It's weird. I think I watch that show so much that's how I see society. Maybe I've been watching too much of it, but you see the different ways things change, though. Yeah, you get to certain guys that they think they could just buy a woman. Actually, that's the last ones I've seen. Like, and then they get all surprised, like when the woman like spends, like Jasmine. I don't know if you there's this one woman she spent $10,000 on the butt lift or butt injections of
But
the
he
guy's money.
bought her.
Well, I feel like that's some of these guys' mindsets. Is like they feel like when a woman comes over, it's like they feel like they're spending all this money on them. And that's how I see. Like, what you can't complain when that's what you're doing, right? I mean, you're spending all this money, and then if she keeps on spending, it's like you kind of treated her like you bought her in the first place. What do you? All right, well, I respect
No
that.
comment.
I was about to say, it's like, I want Carmen's input on all of this. I want to.
I don't think you can own another human being. Like, I don't think
How
it's
did your marriage start? Did you do that situation?
we met online and then we met at a
No,
bar.
that's how they meet. Yeah.
There was no ownership at any
There
point.
was no ownership of any kind.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. You two met. No one was like, hey, I own you, and you weren't like, I own you.
We're very independent people. I would say we don't have that concept of owning the other person.
You found the good balance, because you would find either what I'm
is
saying.
it balance or is it just being
Nah.
like a
Right.
respectable
I feel
person
like
that
that's a
respects
balance.
your partner?
Because you get that, or you get the extreme where one of your partners is on a leash and considered the pet, and you walk around the city, and that's more the extreme balance.
A lot of these terms that we use to discuss stuff like this is so loaded. You know, like, what does ownership mean to any? Like, you pick 5 people and you get 5 different answers from them, especially in the context of what it means, like in a relationship or in the context of a specific relationship. It's it's I find it fascinating because I feel like oftentimes it gets reductive because it allows you to really easily criticize a lot of behaviors that are certainly shouldn't be immune to criticism. For instance, objectification, right? Objectifying people, regardless of their gender, has these understandably negative connotations to it. Like, why would you treat anyone like an object, right? Like, that's very reductive and very dehumanizing. But at the same time, like, what does it mean to treat something like an object? And when we say, like, objectifying, is that really how we treat people? Is that really how we treat objects? And does that really capture, like, the phenomenon in its whole? And it's, I mean, not defending it, but it's one of those examples of when you get down to it and you parse someone's individual motivations, what looks like something that's a perfectly romantic gesture might actually be a very hollow act of, reducing someone to their quantitative value to someone, whereas something that might look like, a very objective and shallow gesture might be coming from a place of real intimacy and lofty ideals. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I guess anytime you think because this person's a certain gender, right?
Or just because, like, going back to your sex positivity thing, like, right?
Yeah,
like, you might
about
have someone support their significant other's burlesque career and have someone look at that and be like, wow, geez, like, look at him just objectifying her and pushing her into this, when really it's like, oh no, she's very serious about her art form and he's supporting her, and she's the one who's into it.
Speaking of
it's coming from a place of encouragement.
That makes me think about these butt injections. All right, that's a very.
But it's like there's consent and there's two people talking like adults about a situation and how they both feel about it. It's not like if you're an object, you don't really have any input, right? Like, you're just like being treated by an object. You don't really have a choice. You don't really have a chance to share how you feel about it because you're placed in this position where your voice doesn't really matter and you are dehumanized. So I feel like, there are, like, a burlesque, I feel like, is a good example, but I feel like the whole idea of, like, communication and, like, treating people with a respect is, like,
well, like, I was watching this, back to this is going somewhere with the butt injection. Follow up past that to where the reason, like, it was like $10,000, but you already kind of, you let her know that you kind of made her feel like objective, like you spending the money, tons of her, so she feels like it's okay. But this is leading up to somewhere where it came out after that where when she was talking further, I kind of realized something here, like, whoa, she doesn't feel that secure. He should maybe make her feel more secure with, instead of money, let her know about the love, maybe, because she was saying she didn't understand it. She didn't understand why the money is an issue, because she was all emotional, talking about, I do all these things with my body to make him happy, to make me more attractive to him. I was like, wow, that's a totally different twist on it. And, like,
Is it a different twist, or is it just a turn of the screw in terms of like
he just
someone?
I mean, she just needed more reassurance that she's, he finds her beautiful.
Right. Yeah. I feel like, no matter how you try and paint that, like even if it's coming from like a genuine place emotionally, at a certain point, it's like, oh, this is depraved. We're having people injecting fat into the part of their body that's just meant to cushion their seat when they sit on something. Like, what have we come to as a culture when we do stuff like this? And what does it say about how we value women too? Like until you see some parody about men similarly having to go through similar things or being subject to the same standards, I feel like it's worth looking at all of that with some due skepticism.
Oh yeah, it's like men age and they're like respectfully aging. Women age, it's like judgments out and they're not viewed as beautiful or attractive. And there's a lot of standards that society places on women on how they're supposed to look and how they're supposed to dress and carry themselves. Yeah,
I mean, you're only ugly if you're maybe you can't even say that. Like you just say ugly if you're a character or something, or you're doing something horrible. But does that even count? No one should be judged. Well, at least on their looks, right?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right?
Yeah, because I could have.
Her all the time.
I could have, instead of my leg, I could have got my face ran over, and then I could have looked like that guy from the Batman with the half face. I could have embraced it, but then if someone's like judging me, I mean, like maybe there might be a period of time. I'm like, now it's hitting me. I thought this was super cool for a while. Now it's hitting me. I'm ugly. I thought it was cool. Like I could touch my inside of my mouth by just pressing my finger into my face. But I was going to play basketball with my friend the other day, and he said, I can't at this time. A little later in the evening, I can, because I'm getting my penis extension. I was like, you know what? Hey. Who am I to? Hey, guys should be doing that stuff too. I mean,
what is involved?
I have no idea.
I'm so curious.
I have no idea. He just said, and we decided to go to the circus instead. But penis extension. I just know, like being a man, we're stupid to where I would think, yeah, I like a big one, but then not to any kind of surgery though. He lost me there.
Surgery, I feel like it's always risky. Would you want to risk that just solely for, like, there's nothing functionally wrong, but solely for aesthetic? Like, feel like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, when we hang out, he tells me his stories of his encounters, so I'll find out and be able to follow
up, see how it went.
Be able to put him on blast on your show.
So,
things how things measure up.
Couple topics, and then we'll be back to the music. So notice this with the music and the comedy shows, they're becoming in the media where people are pausing the concerts now for whatever's going on in the audience. Like Adam Sandler paused for someone's medical injuries, I guess. Dehydration. I guess they didn't have the 2-drink minimum during that comedy show. That would have helped. But is this a good thing or is this just the media pointing it out? Like, is this real?
It's probably just people that like forgot how to go out and do stuff during COVID, and now they're doing it for the first time. And they're like, I didn't know you needed to drink water during the day in the sunlight. So I'm gonna pass out.
The first time I went out to a show after the pandemic, and like me and my friend were drinking pretty much all night. We woke up the next day and we're like, I forgot how to drink.
Did we forget to tell you how to do a lot of things, during the pandemic, socialize, I don't know. I was going to say respect one another. That never happens, but you know what I'm saying.
During this show, I was doing it during the pandemic, and I had to download this COVID thing, and so I kept going by people. Just to see, sometimes on the streets I would go by people seeing if they have the COVID. But now that I think about it, maybe if I could have gotten it too by pressing up
So
against
let me
someone.
find someone with COVID. Let me get within
But I guess
3 feet
COVID's
of 'em.
over. They finally took down the plastic shields at work. So now people can punch me in the face. One guy said, "Why would I do that?" I said, "You wouldn't. It's the people later on at night that will try to do it, sir." I said, "Sir," because I'm at work. And yeah, they do. And I talk a little bit of trash because I got the shield there, but now I can't.
It's just a little too close for comfort now.
Yeah, no, I'll have to walk away. Yeah. How about the Justin Bieber buying meth? That's been in the news, in the media a lot.
I didn't hear about that.
Let the guy buy meth. What's the problem?
He intentionally bought
He
that?
went to I don't know, they said it was like some big gang member out
The
there.
avocados and weird.
I don't know how the media
I
said.
thought he was kind of a party boy anyways and got into... Didn't he get into trouble before with, like, drunk driving or something?
Yeah. Drunk driving isn't cool, but do your drugs. But don't drink and drive. Not cool.
In someone's house or something.
The
It was seriously. It was like
Do the drugs that will make you not drive or even want
things
to drive.
you literally do in high school because he was, like, high school stuff.
Him and that Selena Gomez, they were out there buying that meth. And, I don't know. What's the big deal? I mean...
I don't want either of their teeth to fall out. We need 20 more years of pop hits.
Let me tell you something, man. Have you seen him having problems with his face lately?
You
The
pay a lot
droopy
more
or-
attention to Justin Bieber than I do. I don't know any of this.
I don't know if you remember, he had a facial issue, some kind of thing going on. And lately I haven't noticed that happening. And
Like a
The meth's
twitch or
helping him
it
something?
might be the meth. Might be the meth helping him out. So the inside, he's probably twitching, but not on the outside. I lost a job that way one time because I thought I was going super fast because of my body. My insides were going super fast. So I hear you, Justin Bieber. You want your insides to go super fast, so you don't get that face issues where your body's getting all droopy. Or he could be a clone right now. We don't know.
Your face droop. Isn't that like a seizure?
Yeah, his like body has
Stroke.
seizures. It's like
Stroke.
facial stroke, but he's still going throughout his day with it. So I don't know, not supporting meth. I'm just saying if he supports it, you know. Wait, yeah, music.
Music.
We got the
Hey,
cue
sorry,
card for the
keep
music.
I'm just holding that up for 5 minutes. I forgot.
Music.
What song are we playing?
It's on the come.
Well, no. Which song are we playing?
I had
Times with Cloud.
I had a guinea pig named Cloud.
Which
So,
one?
At times of clouds
That one
and
here?
sun. Yes.
All right. Here we go.
In everything we do, all of your words ring true. That whatever's true will never leave you
all of these tracks have been excellent. I really,
Thanks.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so we're coming around to an end. Happy birthday to my uncle from another mother.
I'd hope so.
Wait, no. He's a brother. No, he's a brother from another mother. Yeah, brother from another mother. Yeah, that's how they say it. Yeah,
cousin thing scaring us here.
he's Portuguese. Shout out to the only member on that side of the family I liked, because I feel his pain. He refused to be in special ed. He refused. I had to go through it. Gosh, I had to go through it. So I feel your pain. I feel your pain. So sorry. You see, I see what happens. You only refuse. You get put in these psych wards, and they treat you horrible. Thank you for putting up the fight. Enjoy your pizza today. Enjoy your pizza and maybe cake. I don't know. My mom's over there. Hopefully you spent time with him. I would. I don't mind him. I have a good time with him. So what I wanted to say last, pizza and cake, are those things that you really shouldn't ask someone what someone else wants? Because aren't those kind of things you really need to talk to the other person about, right? Those are very specific things, pizza and cake. Like, what if I would say pineapple, which a lot of people.
With pizza, I feel like there are a few pizzas that I wouldn't appreciate, but with cake, you could easily put a lot of work into a cake and me be like, oh my god, I don't want that at all.
People
But
are
edibles,
particular about cake.
yeah, you could.
Or like
If you're stoned,
the
anything's
chocolate
good.
vanilla thing, I think is like kind of thing. I hate chocolate ice cream, chocolate cake. I love vanilla. So
Plus
if someone
one.
made me a chocolate cake, I'd be like, yeah.
Chocolate,
chocolate
pizza,
cake
though,
for
I
Carmen.
guess I'd make it happen.
Chocolate pizza for Dash.
Oh yeah, dessert pizza. That used to be a thing in like the 90s or something.
Nutella?
All right, so we know he still goes to Chuck E. Cheese. All right, so plugs. Yeah, Paul's about to get out the cue cards. Next, I kind of do want him walking around with these things next time. 'Cause, I mean,
What's that Paul wear a bikini? We'll objectify Paul. Paul has
'cause
signed up for this.
he has
part of
said
that
to me how
generation.
I pointed out, but like now we found a shtick for it. I kind of want that now.
Oh, you gotta feed into the controversy.
So yeah, let's do this. Yeah. Last words.
All right. Hi, folks. My name's Renaud. I'm performing comedy every day this week here in San Francisco, so go check out my show lineup at dashiellrenaud.com. That's DASHIELLRENAUD.com. I wish I had a phonetical name. I'm sorry, but you'll probably put the link.
I like
in the
Dashiell.
description.
I can't say it doesn't sound like the a-hole.
Yes, it does. It does.
But
it's not
kind of cool,
far
right?
off.
Dashiell. I mean, because if you're doing your comedy and you're gonna be giving people maybe an attitude,
It's good to be an
Dashiell.
asshole sometimes. Yeah.
Carmen
And
Caruso.
Carmen Caruso, my band's name is Agouti. That's Agouti, like the animal. And we're playing a show December 8th with Cave Cloves and Freaks at the Stork Club in Oakland. It's going to be a single release for us. It'll be new music. We haven't released new music since 2019. So come out.
Oh, all right. Next week, Mark Clifford's supposed to be coming through, and a comedian. Yeah. I'm gonna try and get some video on here, anime stuff. I'm gonna talk to Paul about that, and then yeah, my cat.